A prosecutor in Virginia is under fire after two convicted murderers got plea deals for just 5 years in prison, one of them an illegal immigrant. Now the Department of Homeland Security is weighing in with a sharp warning for Virginia's new Democratic governor. Quote, of the 4 defendants in Fairfax County murder trials this year, 3 are illegal aliens. Governor Spanberger must end her sanctuary policies that allow these illegal aliens onto our streets and work with DHS to protect the citizens of the Commonwealth. Former acting ICE director and DHS Deputy Assistant Secretary Jonathan Fahey joins us now. What happened to common sense when it comes to law enforcement, Jonathan?
Common sense is out the window with law enforcement in Fairfax County because in Fairfax County, much like the Democratic Party as a whole, illegal aliens are their most important constituent, and they consistently put their interest above public safety, national security, and everything else. And the situation in Fairfax is so bad. Like you said, 3 out of the 4 murders this year by illegal aliens, 2 of those 3 had prior arrest for violent crimes, so therefore they should have been turned over to ICE and weren't. But it gets even worse because last December, this same Commonwealth's attorney dismissed a malicious wounding charge against an MS-13 member, and instead of turning him over to ICE to be deported, he was released back in the community in Reston, Virginia, and committed a murder within 2 days, or is charged with committing a murder within 2 days of being released. So this is a pattern in practice of Fairfax County, and the plea deal with these 2 people, and again, one of them is an illegal alien, is really part of the same pattern in practice. You see it with sex offenders, you see it with the most serious offenders. And this Commonwealth's attorney on his website talks about how he gives more favorable plea deals to illegal aliens than citizens because he doesn't think they should face the consequences of deportation. He doesn't consider that in sync with the values of Fairfax County, which is remarkable to me.
Yeah, you're talking about Steve Descano, the prosecutor for Fairfax County. Cheryl Minter, her daughter was murdered, and she says this about Steve Descano. She's trying to get him recalled. She says, he's as dangerous as the criminals themselves. He's releasing criminals back on the street. He needs to be put out of office. This after her daughter, Stephanie Minter, was murdered. You think there is the appetite for that among residents of Fairfax County?
Yeah, I want to say I hope so, but, in Fairfax County, the Democratic Party is so strong, and I think they still support him despite this. In the case she's talking about, this individual had dozens of prior arrests for violent crimes, for stabbings, and almost all of them were null pros, which in Virginia means they were dismissed. So it doesn't seem like there really is any appetite. And then you were talking about Governor Spanberger earlier. She has, I believe, 4 anti-ICE bills sitting on her desk that she's expected to sign before April 14th, and all of them are designed to make ICE's job deporting criminals harder. So it's shocking, but the case of Stephanie Minter should never have happened. She should still be alive. Her killer should have been put away long before. But this is just, again, a pattern in practice. And again, illegal aliens in Fairfax County and really with the Democratic Party are always elevated to the superior status and never face the same consequences as citizens of the county. And now it's remarkable that, again, 4 murders this year, 3 by illegal aliens, and at least 2 of them should have absolutely not happened if the people were just simply deported the way people should be. When they get arrested, they should be turned over to ICE and not put back out on the streets.
You mentioned those anti-ICE bills that the governor is expected to sign. Tom Homan, the border czar, says cooperating with ICE really isn't that difficult. Listen.
There's nothing illegal about you calling ICE before you release them, and we'll be there to take custody. You don't have to hold them 1 minute past you will normally hold them on your charges. Just give us a call. It's free, and we'll be there. We'll even strategically locate deportation officers near those jails. They hate Trump more than they care about their public safety because the common sense approach is call us.
You think that's true? They hate Trump more than they care about public safety?
Yes, they hate Trump more than they care about public safety, and they want illegal aliens to stay in the country, and that's more important than public safety as well. But Tom's exactly right. It's not burdensome on law enforcement, and if you talk to rank-and-file law enforcement, they want to cooperate with ICE. It's the politicians that don't want to let them cooperate with ICE, because every one of these criminals that they can have deported makes the community safer and makes law enforcement's job safer, too, because they don't have to go out and arrest these guys for their next crime. So it's so simple, and Tom's exactly right. Pick up the phone, say, we're letting this guy out, come get him, and he could be deported, and everyone would benefit other than the illegal aliens themselves, and the Democratic Party views it as harmful for them politically.
All right. Former acting ICE director Jonathan Fahey. Unbelievable what's going on there in Virginia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.